Episode number 234.
Here's the trick, right? When you own your own business, right, you have to remember, you never stop working.
Right.
You wake up working, you go to bed doing something for work.
Welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff, where we talk about life, dreams, social media, and business.
Well, hello and welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff. Folks, I'm fired up today because on our featured line, we got my man, Tye Featherstone. Tye, are you ready to be real?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's do this. My man is an entrepreneur of hair, folks. He knows how to make you look good, fellas out there. He is the founder of the Great American Barbershop. They've been now in business for 5.5 years. And just a pleasure to have you on the show today. Tye, how's your day going today?
Dude, it's doing fantastic. Fantastic. I even got a little trip into Costco.
Oh, nice. You got a Costco? Were you wearing your mask? Did you have your mask on?
Oh, yeah. I have my mask. We're ready to go.
Gotta stay safe, man. Protect everyone. So that gets me into you business. Tell us a little bit about the business. When you were first 5.5 years ago, or maybe it was even longer than that, who knows, folks, what was the conception or inception of the business? Tell us a little bit about the Great.
Yeah, so quick breakdown. I originally, like you take me back to my early 20s, I was actually going into the cooking field. I wanted to be a chef. That's what I wanted.
Wow, okay.
I like working with my hands. I love food, love people. And right before I had already been accepted in the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York. And but my buddy was doing hair, and I always loved the industry. I did hair, in high school, screwing around. And, he kind of talked to me about it. And so then I started looking into it, and it was about half the price of the culinary program. Gotcha. And it was also half the time. And I said, you know what? I'm so young. Let's try this out. And if I don't love it, then I've only lost a year and not two if I don't love the culinary world.
Right.
And so it seemed like a good decision at the time. And I'll tell you what, from the first day that I went to the Institute, I went to the Aveda Institute, which is owned by Estee Lauder, in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Never been there before. And I loved it. From day one, the sights, the sounds, the sound of the clippers, just the scissors, just everything about it. I was like, oh, I made a good decision. And I've been in the industry forever. I've had salons. I've done runway work. I've, worked with the girls. But I always had a dream of doing something that was like a really cool, like garage-themed motorcycle, rock and roll playing barbershop. And I actually wrote my thesis paper, which is one of our things we had to do to graduate. I wrote mine on the Great American Sport Cut, is what I call it.
Ah, okay.
And so really then years went by. I was doing hair. I was doing very well in it. It was kind of once you get stuck into making a good amount of money,
right? No risk. There's not much risk in that business too. You're just cutting hair and just making money, baby.
But then one day I ran across that simple little paper, and I started looking at it and toying with it, and the barbering was just kind of starting to heat up. I was seeing it in Europe. It was getting really big. That whole barbering scene that was going on. Because you remember, this is the business plan was, even though we opened 5.5 years ago, it took me about 1.5 years to get funding and
absolutely
get it all down. So really 7 years ago, it really wasn't hit hard in America, but I was seeing it in Europe, and I really wanted to do it. I talked my wife into it. And she's a good sport. She's like, fine, you're risking it all. Let's do this, So we opened up, my dad gave me some money and I had some money. So we opened up our first store on Somerville and Perrin, Great American Barbershop, and created a system. Our whole system where it's totally different than everybody else, right? You get the proper precision haircut. We do a hot lather back of the neck shave, we'll throw in a hard part. We trim up the beard. We do a double shot of aftershave when you're done. And then we finish with an old school 1950s Oster massage.
Oh, wow.
And just, it was a great system. Literally the first day we did, 12 people. Then we did 24 people. Then we did 48 people. We were hitting like ridiculous numbers within the first, month. Just crazy.
Wow.
And I couldn't even believe it. I was like, this is insane. And then I literally couldn't hire fast enough. Right. I was just bringing in barbers, and then that, led you into creating entire training systems, because now we're getting bigger and it's growing faster. Oh man, it was so electric. You know what I mean? It was just boom.
You hit it at the right time. You hit it at the right time. Where
I think that obviously there's a lot of skill and precision, a lot of passion you have to have for whatever business you're in, but nothing is probably more important than timing and location.
Right.
So important. So
right.
So and we opened up 3 more. Then we opened up the franchise part of it. And, now we've got, 5 of the franchises working. We've got some stuff developing in Texas. We're going to see some open up there in the next year.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, super, super exciting. And then COVID hits. You got to shut it down.
Shit.
So
right now, as a lot of business owners are experiencing frustration at this point, because now we're like 68 days into it, and it's like, holy God, come on now. I mean, we're doing everything we can. We're staying safe. We're keeping social distancing. We're wearing our masks at the stores. And this really only hits the older people hardest. Now, it could hit anybody. We know that. There's a lot of things. But if you listen to Joe Rogan or things where he's bringing on the top people or, out there in the world, who knows exactly the facts, but it sounds like based on Elon Musk, we're an order of magnitude. This is an order of magnitude more projected worse than it is, basically. And that means in my mind, it's like 50 times. They're saying it's 50 times worse than it actually is. And so, I mean, you got the smartest guy pretty much on earth saying that in a show. But I mean, who knows the exact facts? So folks, don't listen to me. I'm not saying T Huff's the medical professional here, but if you're taking care of your body, if you're staying safe, those are the most important things right now. So as a business owner, tell me about what are the next steps for you? Are they saying that there's a point in time where you guys are going to be able to get back into business?
Well, you know what? We heard from Governor Newsom. He tweeted that do not expect to be getting a haircut anytime soon.
Wow.
To order some clippers from Amazon. So that led me to going, well, wait a second. Originally, we were just going to flatten the curve. We're going to make sure we had enough ventilators. We were going to make sure that we had enough hospital beds and that we testing was starting to ramp up.
Right.
So I don't know where we went from not opening to never opening. It just sounded crazy to me. And then one of the big concerns that I had as a barber, you have to understand, barbers, cosmetologists, nail techs, we're all under the same license. And we are outside of the hospital and dentistry. We're the only ones that are trained in disease and infection control. So it seemed really, really crazy that you're going, wait, you got restaurants with 17-year-old kids giving you your coffee drink that have no knowledge of disease and infection control. And here we are in barbershops, which is the whole reason why they even created a board, was to make sure that the community as a whole was safe. Right. So it just seemed like, wait, that doesn't make sense. So I wrote some letters to our local guys, and then I wrote one to Newsom, and I didn't get enough response back. And so then we started a petition. It's on our website. It's through change.org. Well, we've got thousands of signatures on there. People excited to get back in the barbershop. But one of the things in my latest letter that I sent the governor was how serious it is when you have to understand, as a barber, we pick up on things every year. Our shop will alert somebody to something that's on top of their head, maybe a mole or a growth, right, that doesn't look right. We've been trained to look for it,
right?
And we send them to their first responders, or not to the first responders, but their primary care physician. And the thing is, if we catch these skin cancers early, they're very manageable. But even more than outside of the barbering are the nails. You have to understand, you think of nails, girls getting their nails done, a soccer mom brings her little daughter. That's all fun and cute. But over half of their clients are actually diabetics. There's 29 million diabetics in California. Almost every single one of them has standing appointments to get their toes done because they get a little slight infection and they're losing toes. So I'm like, hey, this is really, I'd love for him to open up Barbary, but he, for health sakes, he needs to definitely open up nail people today, if not yesterday.
Wow. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So we sent him that. We've got the petition going. We've been very aggressive with him. And then yesterday he tweeted, I don't know if I had anything to do with it. I like to think I did, but maybe I didn't. He said, we know that everybody wants to get back into the hair chairs and to their nail girls, and we're alert to that. And so we're looking over the next couple of weeks to come up with a pretty good system that will be responsible and safe. And so then I had already put together something that I worked with some doctors for Fresno County when they were voting on whether or not they were going to maybe ease the restrictions and make us essential. And so we already had a plan in place that is phenomenal that I can go over with you. But it's super solid, and I wouldn't imagine that the governor could actually come up with anything different than we haven't already thought of. But if he has something different, we'll do whatever it takes. We just want to service our community, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I just can think about all the working hairdressers. I mean, it's a working profession, folks. I mean, let's just be real. These people aren't living on, 12 months of cash flow, emergency funds, and so
a lot of my guys, most of my team, well, all of my team, they're actually employees. That way I can control the system and I can control the product that we put out.
Got you.
But if you're an independent, you probably did not get a PPE of any kind.
Right.
Not get any kind of help. And so what's happening is they didn't put food on their tables. And so they're going to go out and they're going to be doing haircuts. So
yeah, they're going to do it in your backyard.
Right? I was walking the other day and I saw a guy have seven to 10 people inside a garage. They're all drinking beer, and he's cutting. Nobody's wearing a mask. Nobody's socially distanced. There's no way he's properly cleaning his hands because they're in the garage. There's no setup for that.
Right.
If you bring it into a controlled environment like ours, we've got all the equipment, the PPE that we've stockpiled. I mean, we are ready to go in a very safe, responsible way.
Yes. And that's what it is right there, because it's like prohibition. When they took away alcohol, well, all of a sudden you had TS, local bar here, right. It's going to be the same thing with any industry. It's like at some point we need a damn haircut. So we're willing to go to our neighbor's and be in an unsafe situation where they don't have the health concerns. They could maybe use the clippers wrong and chop your damn ear off. We don't know.
Right.
We're dealing with them.
Some of those whiskeys that were being made out in the hills. I mean, rats running in through it. I mean, nasty brewers,
So
go ahead.
I think that we're going to be getting back there. I mean, I think that obviously, like my dad, who's a very, moderate thinker. He's Republican, but he's more in the middle. He's an accountant. But the most important thing is I think he sees is that you put too many restrictions on people, we're just going to find our way back. We're going to fight our way back, and we're going to bond together. And the business owners, we got to fight back because this is the only time. It's like, what are they going to do? I mean, how you can't go forever without being shut. I mean, that's you're out of business. You know what I mean? So that's everybody. It's like everybody.
Well, nothing actually works that way, right? I mean, nothing's sustainable that way. So we definitely have to get back for sure.
And people are willing to be safe. People are willing to wear masks or whatever we got to do. We're all willing to be safer in the grocery store. So
Costco has a mandatory mask. But even places that don't have mandatory masks, most people are wearing them.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you? That doesn't hurt, in my opinion. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. I've actually put together in our PPE, we've got 3,500 surgical gloves.
Oh, nice.
Don't technically have to wear them because we wash our hands before and after every client. So you've got an acid mantle. There's no need for it. CDC even doesn't recommend it, but it's there. If my employees want to feel safe, I want them to feel safe. Right. We also put together, everybody has their own filter mask with the coffee filters with the extra insert.
Yes.
So everybody gets one of those as well. And then we also picked up some surgical face shield visors.
Gotcha,
and I don't expect most people to wear them, but I wanted to have them just in case my employees want to feel safe. It's just one more layer of protection. There's no reason not to have it if you want to wear it.
Right. That's what I think businesses are going to have to do. They're just going to have to show that we're willing to be safe. It's going to cost my man Tye some profit in his business, but that's what he needs to do to make that dollar and cash register ring again for all his businesses and his franchisees too.
Right, exactly. Yeah, we've actually even eliminated cash. Just one more layer that we can eliminate. It's all Google Pay, Apple Pay, credit card, separate screens, so we're distanced from the individual. It's pretty cool. When the clients go to our website, greatamericanbarbershop.com, they'll hit the check-in, find the store that they want to go to, and the first thing they're going to be asked is their set of questions. Do you experience any of these symptoms? Are you having a fever, shortness of breath, cough? It says do not book an appointment, quarantine, and seek medical help.
Right.
And then when our barbers actually go to clock in, they get the same set of questions, and then they also additionally have to give themselves a temperature check. If the temperature's out of line, they just clock out and go home, and we'll take care of it later.
Right.
And then of course the client then will wait in the car. We will buzz them in through our messaging system. They'll come in so we can again limit the mitigation and having people in the shop milling around. And then we go through the haircut, and of course we already followed the CDC guidelines, which is who set up the board anyway. So we already do the washings and the disinfection and the cleaning, right? Those are all completely, nothing's changed there. But we do have we did put hand sanitizer at every station. The clients are going to also hand sanitize when they come in. We've got some Clovis bleach killer at every door, so we'll spray the doors as we're going in and out. Super, super safe. I think it's going to be a great thing. And then, of course, unfortunately, we just for safety reasons, we eliminated part of our system. So one of our systems, I talked about the hot lather, back of the neck shave, the old school massage, the beard trim. We're actually eliminating that because we're trying to limit the exposure, and then also anything where we're facing the client. So no shampoos. We're not doing any of our world famous proper shaves, which will suck. But it's just for a while, right?
Yes.
I saw the coolest picture. 1918, San Francisco State University. They had a couple barbers out there, and all these people were in their masks. The barbers were in their mask, and they're just that old 1918 photography, and they're doing haircuts out there on the State University.
Wow.
Right? It passes. This is going to pass.
Yes. Vaccination or the summer just wipes it out. The hot weather and the humidity just wipes it out completely, like SARS and some of the other ones that we've seen.
Sure. Yeah, you get enough herd immunity, right? I mean, it's
getting enough herd immunity, and we're just prepared more for it. Businesses are more prepared. And so my question, very thing that came up, you've done an amazing job, my man, of having a plan. And I cannot see Mr. Newsom, whoever is out there, we got to get these people back to work, baby. We got to get these people back and making business happen right now, because that's how our world's created. My man created a business idea and he's now expanded it all over, and we got to get him back to business. So, but that's the most important thing. But my real curious question you mentioned there is you're not going to do cash anymore. Do you think that's going to be a new standard going forward for you?
I like taking cash.
Right.
My employees like that. I mean, I doubt any of my employees are going to say no to a cash tip. I'll tell you that.
Right.
And I don't really mind as long as they wash their hands.
Right.
I'm all about just wash your hands.
Take the cash and wash your hands.
but I do think that as a whole, nationwide, probably any modern society, cash has already been on the running out of our system.
Right.
I can just see this being just the straw that breaks camel's back, and nobody goes back to cash. I mean, there's a taco truck, real famous taco truck. They've got 80 trucks. What's the name of it? It starts with a C. But it's a really cool, like, Brazilian, Asian fusion tacos. They're really, really good. And they actually don't take any cash in their stores and never have.
Wow. So that just shows you whether you're going to pay on the Cash App or, whatever mechanism you're using to get cash. You guys are using Google Pay and Apple Pay and all these great mechanisms. Or at some point, some of these people.
Clover. Yeah, we're with Clover, but
Clover, okay.
They're all the same. Clover just is. There's one POS system. There's Square. There's Revel. There's lots of them out there, and they all pretty much do the same thing.
Got you. But yeah, it's fascinating. It's very, very fascinating how this thing has sped up so many different industries, and that might be one of them.
Right.
It sounds like when we get back to normal, it sounds like you have an expanding business, because at the end of the day, guys want to look good. There's this beard culture. There's this kind of, like a culture. It's like a cultural thing,
right.
And I think you hit it right on the head in that. And also,
barber is like a lot like food, right? So
absolutely.
Food was considered essential. Guess what? They're selling more food than they ever have. Costco's doing more numbers than they ever have.
Yep.
So barbery, we're going to be doing the same that we've always had, which it's a great business. It's a great business model. I love working in the industry. I love hanging out with barbers and cosmos. They're very artistic. They crafty. They like to forge things. It's a really fun group of people to be with.
You guys are doing like literally artwork that it grows out, but it's artwork. It's like food, food is artwork. You eat it, but it's artwork in a way.
Right. We actually refer to it as our craft haircuts.
Yeah. Craft. Yeah. It's a true craft. It's a true art. And you look good right now, folks. We all are looking a little busted because our hair is all crazy. I'm seeing more of my friends' gray hair than I've ever seen because, and celebrities' gray hairs. You see all these different people that are used to getting their haircut all the time and like looking good all the time. And now they're looking a little more busted because
I was due a haircut when the governor told us to shut down.
Yes.
And, I thought, well, it's only for a couple weeks. So I told my clients that I wasn't going to get a haircut. Stupid.
Wow.
So my hair is so nasty and so long. It's never been this long before. I always wear like a zero faded skin fade of some sort.
Right.
It's just out of control, super wavy.
It's like, hey, we're all experiencing this together, baby. This is the first world problem. Bad hair.
But yeah, I hope the governor does it, because the governor did send out some pretty threatening letters in the beginning.
Right. I heard this too. Yes.
But they're letting dog groomers work that do
which
not. Which
seems weird. Yeah.
And
that seems crazy to me personally. That seems absolutely.
I'll tell you what, we're the only ones that are actually trained in this, besides doctors and dentists, and we got shut down. Even the dentists, I think, we're back. I don't know.
Yeah, I think dentists are even having a hard time too because some of their team members or their staff are not wanting to come back based on being safe. I've heard that from a few dentist clients.
Especially again because they're actually, you got actually working in the face.
Yes,
we're able to eliminate those exposures. For the time being anyway. They actually can't.
There's no way. Yeah, that's a real fine line with them. So they got to find people that are willing to work and then not getting paid extra $600 a week right now so that they're motivated.
So if it is really that airborne, that's not the profession I'd want to be in. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I mean, we don't all know, but yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one that
we don't know, but we do know that that SARS-1 is only in a droplet, and it's only really when you're doing putting a ventilator on somebody. It's not you and I talking. My brother's in the medical field. He's actually on the COVID floor up in Reno.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he said, no, we're really mitigated. Technically it's 3 feet, but the government has been pushing 6 just because people don't know what 6 feet looks like.
Right. But, it's like they tell them something further so they do less.
Looks like your refrigerator.
I'll be straight up with you guys. I was at the Pismo. Me and my wife, after 68 days, were like, we got to get out of town. We got to go do something.
Right.
We went to Pismo. Right. We went to Pismo Beach, which is not far away. But, dude, Pismo Beach, insanely packed. I mean,
really? I bet, man.
Insanely packed, dude.
Get some of that chowder?
Yeah, I did, but I didn't get it at Splash Cafe. I got it at another spot, but it was amazing. But most importantly, I was like, oh, that's crazy. And the next thing I hear on Sunday is the San Luis Obispo County is putting out ads for Fresno and Visalia. Don't visit us, basically.
Really? Yeah.
Starting today, we must have caused a whiff, or we must have really caused some. Because I was thinking maybe they just got someone took some photos of Pismo Beach, man, on the weekend. I was like, oh my god. I mean, people were doing a great job of distancing, but still, I was like, man.
We go to Pismo or San Luis Obispo or one of those areas every year with my family. I got 5 kids, and that's our retreat. It's close. It's nice. I love it. I know the area very well, but I'll tell you what, I literally see 50 people from Fresno when I'm there.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. You can't get away. It's a home away from home over there.
Yeah. I love it. I would love that. It's one of the best parts of California. As a matter of fact, the best parts of California really run from the center on the beach all the way to Clovis.
Yeah, there we go, baby. Central California, baby. Central California.
I love it.
I love your energy, my man. But now we're about to take you into our top 10. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube.
Instagram or Facebook?
Facebook.
Chicken or steak?
Steak.
Laptop or smartphone?
Smartphone.
Spotify or Pandora?
Pandora.
Movies or video games?
Movies.
Reading books or listening to books?
I'm a reader.
Yeah. Stocks or real estate?
Stocks.
Oceans or lakes?
Oceans.
Yeah. When you wake up in the morning, Tye, you're looking yourself in the mirror, getting ready for the day. Why do you love being you?
Why do I love being me? Well, I love my family. I have 5 kids, beautiful wife, and it's just been a blessing. So I love being the guy who ended up in my shoes with 5 wonderful kids and a beautiful wife and a great business.
That's amazing.
Living in the Central Valley.
I love it. And you're living the dream, and you can feel that infection. And shout out to you for being a papa entrepreneur, man, because I'm sure there's a lot of challenges. I know now being a papa, there's challenges with being a dad and an entrepreneur. I mean, you want to be at the kids' baseball game. You don't want to be working. There's a lot of different things you got to play. Which one do I want to choose? And being all in as a dad, I think, especially after passing of Kobe, and then obviously that was before the COVID. But I think it just pushed us all to be better dads right now.
Right. It's funny. We that's our whole thing, right? So the Great American Barbershop, we make better looking husbands, fathers, and sons in America. That's what's on our website. That's what we say.
And I love that slogan, dude. I love that slogan.
and here's the thing. Here's the trick, right? When you own your own business, right, you have to remember you never stop working. Right? You wake up working, you go to bed doing something for work, right? But it's doing that, right? Even though you worked an 18-hour day, you were able to fit in. I was able to coach my son's baseball team. Well, until COVID game, and then I got shut down. But no, I coach soccer every year. I coach baseball every year. I take my daughter to her gym, and she's real big into gymnastics. My youngest nice. Swim lessons. Levi's walking around. My oldest is a JTAC in the Air Force. So you can do it all, but you just have to know that you are always working.
Right.
You're always on. You're just always on. You have to be okay with that, right? But that's all right. God will give you strength.
Absolutely. And don't forget, folks, this is the best thing he said, is that you can't get back those times. So you can't get back the time you spent with your coaching and being with your daughter, taking her to gymnastics. You can't get back that time. You will be able to work more in business, right? Like there'll always be an extra hour for you to work somewhere, folks. So just remember that. It's a great point. I think that's a fascinating point, because most people don't think of it that way, but it's so true. Like,
and you know what? You nailed it, right? Because I've had this business 5.5 years. It's really only been in the last 2 years that I've been able to separate a little bit, because you're so passionate about what you do that it literally becomes your life. It almost becomes your idol, right? And then but you work with it, you pray about it, you get some help from your wife, maybe yelled at a few times, and then you're able to manage it, maybe get some books. I love reading books on stuff like that and how to work it all together. And you just find that there's better ways. There's just a different way of doing it that's better, more efficient.
Absolutely.
And what's the best part? Technology, baby, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, look how fast we can do stuff now, right? Look at the Zoom meeting, right? Look at the payroll systems that we use, the way that our Clovers give us all the numbers that we need. Everything is so fast right now, and probably the hardest part in the beginning is that you actually didn't know what you needed because you didn't know yet. Then you're like, oh, I need this, right? I was actually, it's funny, we're doing a Zoom meeting. I was actually just playing on Zoom because I think it's going to be a great way when we are laying out our coming back to work, when the governor gives us the go-ahead. I want to lay out to the team exactly how we're going to do it. And before, we just have a big meeting, everybody come together, bring in some pizzas, maybe some beers, and we give a demo. Now we're going to be doing it on a Zoom meeting.
Yes.
It's
scalable. Awesome. It's scalable. You could stay in touch with your team more. You could be in touch with the people more often in other places as your business is expanding into new locations, Tye.
Right.
Out of the area that you can kind of get out to. You're in Texas, you got to be in touch with these people, and you can
Right.
Another great way of Zoom, folks, that I love using is recording like your screen shares or recording tasks that you have to get done. If you're training people, it's another really great way to record trainings. So anything you want to do, obviously you can, share your screen or basically, you're recording your screen, and any task, whether it's, hey, send this email out, or if it's anything like in my world of social media or wherever, it's like, hey, this is how you do a post. This is how you schedule a post. You can do those things. And then what we've built is like a Dropbox full of training, in that I don't have to retrain people. I can just send them to that training Dropbox. I can keep making new videos as we have new changes, as we have new things, but I don't have to go talk about those old topics. And as you know, training is a huge part, of training.
So your training is actually in the Zoom. So you're not even giving it. They're actually just logging in and going into that Zoom Dropbox and pulling out, say, this is how we answer the phone.
Yes, absolutely. Whatever the topic is, what I would do is we onboard them and we make them go through, or that, it's all based on what they tell us. We're not forcing them with a gun or anything, but
right.
Hey, go train yourself. T-Huff doesn't have to train you anymore. I used to physically spend hours training these people. And now I just turned all those trainings into, basically real personal video, talking to them and then using it obviously with team, using it with clients, using it with happy hours, with friends. I mean, there's just so many ways that you can use Zoom. It's very convenient. Yeah, it's amazing. And talk about like people like literally like, probably wanting to get on Zoom for years. And then all of a sudden, boom, like 200 million people, boom, here you come, Zoom, ready to go for you.
Dude, it happened overnight. Dude.
Overnight. Do you think you'll ever retire?
I think about that, and I don't actually know if it's even responsible or even, I don't even think it's biblically responsible to actually retire.
Right.
There's no excuse for it. It can't be healthy. You can always do something, even if it's volunteering.
Absolutely.
So no, I don't ever see myself retiring. I do maybe someday doing something different,
right?
But not retiring. I've got a couple ideas. I got a couple pizza shops that I've been playing around with my head. I've also got a deli shop called Custer's Last Stand that I've been playing around with some different recipes, just in case.
Right? Why not? Why not? That's a good idea, man. I love that.
So yeah, I've got a lot of fun things. You can't do them all. You got to pick a few, but those are some of the ones that I like. I like food. I think a pizza place is. Well, I'll tell you, in my mind, it's a really fun concept, a lot of craft beers, and I think it would be a really fantastic business, a pizza place, because by the time my kids now, which are mostly in elementary, get into high school, what a fun place. And now I can have all the kids come to, where our pizza place is, and just, we can monitor, see who their friends are. I like
Absolutely.
that. Little control there.
And put them in the business too. Hey, there's nothing wrong with getting them in the business, working, learn them work ethic. I think that's the one thing I want to teach my daughter who's 15 months old is work ethic. If you can, if you can have work ethic and be resilient, those
my
are
9-year-old. We lost our gardener, which actually worked out great because he left about the time I couldn't afford to pay him. But he left. I think he went back home where he was from, and during COVID. And so all of a sudden, my yard, I couldn't get a hold of him. So I went and bought a lawnmower on Amazon. They dropped it off, got an edger, and I took my 9-year-old out. I've been working with him over the last couple of weeks, and he's picked up the 2 other clients that Rufinho was also doing, and he's just charging them $10. He's not taking care of their sprinklers and stuff, but he's mowing and he's edging and he's doing the cleanup. And dude, he's loving it. He's working it out. I'm like, you could probably get a couple more dollars if you bring out the trash cans on Sunday too.
Yes. Yes. I mean, that's the key thing is just learning that discipline, learning how to get a check or get a couple dollars in your pocket, folks. If you want to create a business, you can't start a business without making a little bit of money. And so that's a great example is if you can get someone to, cut their grass for $10, hey, cut 20 people's grasses, get those 20 customers as testimonials, and then start cutting grass for $20. And then, you move your services up over time. And I think it's just a fascinating thing. And
not always making the money that's the exciting part, right? The money shows that you're winning, right? I like getting the clients. I like to know that, the system we created is the best system, which is why we do the most clients. I love that. It lets me know that I feel vindicated by it. So absolutely. the money is just it's just a result. Just a result.
Right.
I enjoy the game.
It's a necessary means of a business. It's a necessary means of a business is that you're going to get money then to pay everybody and to pay the bills and pay everybody. And when you're getting your day started for the day, how do you typically get, do you have a routine? How do you start your day typically?
My day normally starts around 5.
Nice.
Like I said, I got a lot of young kids. My 3-year-old will be up at 5. And she's only 3, so I hear her call my name. She needs some help with getting a wipe, right? I'm that dad that's got to go out and do the wipe.
Absolutely.
And let mom sleep. That's fine because she's still breastfeeding, so she's up a little bit later in the middle of the night.
Right.
And so I take care of her. Then I wash my hands, of course. And then we go out. I usually put her on one of those little children's Disney shows. I get her some breakfast started, and then I'll sit down and have coffee. And then I usually go out onto my I've got a little courtyard we built a couple years ago. And I'll usually read either a book or, my Bible, or sometimes the paper might be up there. It's always something, just reading something, just drinking my coffee and just kind of watching the sun as it starts to come up.
I love that. It's a great way to get your day started.
Every single day. It's pretty much how it starts.
And when you're sitting in those moments, there's just so much gratitude that can come with you. No matter if you're reading the Bible or you're reading a book or you're just sitting and enjoying it and just soaking it in. It's amazing.
You know what? Your brain is actually at its clearest when you first wake up.
Right.
And so literally if you run through your schedule kind of there in your mind, you can actually place everything quickly. If you try and do that at 3 p.m,
right,
you're going to miss half of it. You didn't even know it. But you are so crystal clear. You probably, my best hours are those first 3 or 4. I get most of it all done mentally in that first 3 or 4 hours. And then it just gets fuzzy throughout the rest of the day as you're doing the tasks. Actually,
more fires, more things coming in. Yeah, you're reacting to things happening.
That first couple hours, that's your strength. So I've heard writers say that. Writers will say they write in the morning because that's when they're the most focused. It totally makes sense to me.
Absolutely. I feel like you have the least amount of messages in your head too because you just woke up.
Right.
It's like
you're fresh.
Then you got 20 messages. Oh, I just did 4 podcasts. Oh, I just get all these emails. I got social media posts to do, and it's just like
you're most alive because by the time you're ready for bed, you're dead tired.
Right. Yeah. You're just like, oh my God, I've had 500 million messages that have subconsciously or consciously come into my brain.
How do you start your day?
Typically, I start my day right now. I wake up with my daughter. I'm present with my daughter every day. She tends to wake up around 6:30, so we wake up around 6:30. I usually get coffee as well. I always make her breakfast. We have breakfast with her. A few days a week, my wife will come in at some point a little bit later in the morning, and she'll help me out, and then I'll start getting to work. I'll go right to my home-based office. Most of the time, I start by reading, being present with her, doing all the fun activities that I would ever want to do with her. We go for car rides. We've done a daily car ride where we just kind of drive around and see what's going on, and just kind of, because we can't do much, so we just kind of gives us some sanity. Wake up in the morning. I do a lot of other things with my schedule, my to-do list, and kind of prepping for the day, if you want to call it. I try not to do anything too crazy early, as far as like meetings or anything.
Right. Yeah.
Just because my daughter usually goes to bed around 9:30, and then that's when I usually start from 9:30 to 11 as I kind of have a power hour. And then I have another power hour usually from around 2 to 4 for when she's her second nap. And so
Nice.
those are kind of when I can actually do podcasts, phone calls, and I can't leave the house, but I can do everything else that I got to get done.
You just have the one daughter?
I do have one daughter right now, just one.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll get the 2 here, but no more than 2, my wife says. So.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
It's at different times. I would love to even have more kids. I shout out to you, my man, for having 5. I'm just super grateful for having 1 right now. Because that's all you can really be thankful for if you don't have the second. You don't want to predict something you don't have.
Right.
And be very present with her, because I feel like my dad wasn't able to do that because he built his business in a different time, and also the fact that they didn't have technology and things like that to build a business, and so he was always gone. And so you can't be in 2 places at once. You can't be in Texas or Chicago and in Fresno raising your family.
Right.
So
Right.
now, obviously with technology, FaceTime, there's a lot of different ways to kind of stay connected, but I have now made that, folks, my pillar as an entrepreneur, because I've had a more selfish life, I would say, if you call it that. And then as when you have kids, you become very selfless, and you are, serving the family and the greater good, and you do have your own piece to yourself, but it changes, and you don't think about yourself as much, and so you don't think, oh, I want to go to Vegas, oh, I want to go to Miami, I want to go somewhere else. You think about the kids, you want to have fun with them.
Right.
At least in the beginning, I could say that. Maybe after 5, you're like, let's go to Vegas, baby. Let's go to Miami. Let's get somewhere out.
No, it's nice when grandma comes over and takes kids, and
yes,
I go to heirloom or something. That's great. I love that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, if you're still running around with your friends with 5 kids, or even just a couple kids, it's not only is it irresponsible, it's almost kind of weird,
right?
Because you begin to wrap your life around your family. I always tell my kids, they talk about their friends. I'm like, hey, your friends are great. Remember, it's your family that will be there at all the holidays.
No
This
shit.
is life, dude.
So true. Oh my God. It's so
and I'm
true.
still friends with a lot of my guys that I grew up with, which is great.
Right.
But, we're sharing dad stories, and it's not the same, right? We're not with each other every day, not even close.
Right. It's just not reality. It's not like with high school or when you were 20, you had no responsibilities. No, everyone's different now. And shit, now you can't even be close to each other right now. Everyone's freaked out. They don't want to be around each other right now, except for on Zoom or, text or chat. Everyone feels connected, but I feel like everyone's trying to stay more connected, but it's just awkward because then you can't even like hang out with each other. So it's just kind of weird, and everyone thinks of it differently. So it's just, different points of view. It's like anything with, like I always say, religion and politics, and now it's COVID. You just don't want to push anyone. People think about it differently, and you just don't want to offend anybody. So
right, yeah, for sure.
Different points of view, and you just say, okay, I understand. I totally agree. We want to be, following where you feel healthy and where you feel safe.
Right.
So a couple last.
That's one of the things, right? Because like I said, although it will be mandatory to wear a mask,
right? It's
not mandatory to wear the face shield. But I want my team to know that if one of your fellow barbers wants to put on a mask, that's their prerogative.
Right.
Just remember, let's be respectful of everybody's wishes. That's the beauty of America. Let's be respectful. You want to do this, I want to do that. Let's work it together.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. That's the way we get through everything. You have to work. There's some compromises. A couple last questions for you, my man. Be real. Sir. Tonight for dinner, if you could sit down with anyone in the world, who would it be?
Right now, it'd be Governor Newsom to
love it. I love it. That's amazing.
Let's open up, man.
Let's open this thing wide up, baby. You need a haircut too, Mr. Newsom. I'll give you a haircut. You need to tell him, fly his ass. I'll fly.
Like he's missed a haircut. He looks pretty good.
I know. He probably hasn't. He's probably got a private barber coming over.
I'm sure. No, but I think I really would like to meet with Governor Newsom.
Yes.
That's who I think I would actually like to meet with right now. I've been following him on Twitter.
Right.
I follow a couple different people. But I've been following him, kind of learning, a lot of about his character and that sort of thing.
Right.
And I think I would have a lot of fun, interesting questions. Like, why do you say that the entire COVID experience happened in a nail salon?
Right.
How does that really happen? I mean, he didn't ever say. To me, it seems odd because you're like, well, nail people they're working well away from you. They're usually working on your feet. There shouldn't be any cross contamination. They wear gloves. They wear masks because of the industry that they're in and the nail fibers naturally already, and their hands are always in water.
Right.
Seems unlikely, but he says it happened. I'm sure that it probably did. If he says it did, I don't think he lied to us.
Right.
But I'm just curious, like, how did that come out? How did you find that out? I'm curious, you know?
Yeah, like what detective did you have finding out? Didn't this come from China at the end of the day? I mean, no matter how.
Well, I think he was actually talking about in California.
Right. No, I know, absolutely. But it's just funny that he would even mention that, because it's just kind of like, well, I get that, but like this didn't just come from like a nail salon in California. This came from a whole nother place, and maybe it was someone infected. But I totally get it. He's probably doing it for certain reasons, whatever. I think this is obviously there are some political points of view that are happening here. And I'm not necessarily complete against Newsom. I think he's done some things good in some cases. You know, across the board, it's a big state. There's a lot of different things to say. Yes, this and that. You know, do this, don't do that. But I mean, he's dropping the ball for businesses, folks. And I think more of us need to say something. I'm shout out to you for saying something, my man. You might have got him to push the dial more after your tweets, man. You never know. So, folks, use your voice, man. That's one of the powers that can't completely quarantine.
Right.
Voice, the power of your voice.
Honestly, my whole thought was, yes, we hit him with all the signatures that we have. We hit him with the letters. We blew up this, whatever people we could call. We were doing our part. But I was really trying to get the message out there of the safety factor, because we really are, as barbers and nails and hair, we really are first responders when it comes to certain things. You know, obviously we're not first responders like police officers and military and stuff like that. But for a diabetic or somebody who's got a cancerous growth on their head they don't know about, yeah, we did just become first responders, and we can do it safely and we can do it responsibly. So instead of like yelling at him like, hey, this is wrecking my business, I get landlords, want their money, and I really wanted to get to, because I think he's a sane person, and I think that if he understood the type of essential roles that we play in the community, and then also the health risks and what Californians are at risk of right now. My attitude was, if I could actually get in the room with him, I think that he would really understand, because I think he would get it. I think he would get it.
You're not taking it an anger approach. You're taking it like an education approach to him,
right?
And educating him about what you guys do, and then how this can impact further, if for the diabetics, for people that maybe didn't see that bump on their neck or head that you guys pointed out, as well as, folks, we all need to look good in some cases too. Let's just be real. People, we're all running businesses. We're doing different things. We don't need to look like disheveled people. I mean, let's just be real.
Affects your whole personality.
There's a piece to that. Yeah. I mean, it's a piece like, we're not going to just go get Amazon clippers, although I'll tell you I did, and it didn't work out well. So I'm waiting for my girl Dee Dee to come back, or I might have to come visit you guys when you guys get open here, whoever gets open here first, because I think you guys are going to see a big race of people. I think you're going to see a lot of new customers, and also probably just an abundance of your current customers coming back. I mean, just like, I need help, please.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've been actually looking at some different models. Our hours are 9 to 8.
Right.
We're actually thinking like 8 to 10.
Gotcha.
And then that way, because we have to mitigate,
right,
be safer. So we're going to have less chairs working. So if I just run 2 complete shifts of 7-hour shifts,
right,
that'll allow everybody to be able to take their breaks, get their lunches, do the time in between with the cleanings, but yet we're still able to get the max amount of people, because you don't want to be the guy that has to wait 4 weeks to get in. You've already waited 67 days.
Absolutely, dude. I think you're going to see an abundance of people just wanting to get in, just like anything out there. But I think you guys are first in line. I mean, people can wait on their food, but it's like, when your hair starts getting a little weird looking, you're like, God, this is crazy. Well, we really just want to thank you so much for your time, energy. I love your passion. I think that you are right in line with what, the fast track forward to opening, with all the things you're doing to be safe and protective. But most importantly, my man, I just want to say you've created a great business that I think is going to continue to thrive when we get through this, my man. I know God's got your back. I know the universe has got your back, and you keep putting in that work, my man. You keep putting in the work, and also the other ideas too. I mean, you sound like you're a serial entrepreneur. You got a good business mind to strategies and training and keeping things and scaling, and I could see you doing more, so in a different vertical, maybe, like you said, food, a different type of vertical. But Where's the best
Right.
place if people are interested to find more about the Great American Barbershop?
Well, the best place if you're interested in franchising would be on our website. So we got a franchising portal on top. If you want to sign the petition, it's on the website as well. But we've got a lot of fun videos on there as well. It's a really high quality website for really just a bunch of local guys that built it.
Wow. Good job, man. Good job. I love it. A local business, my man, out here in our lovely Central California. Folks, you've been hanging out with Tye Featherstone and Travis Too Tall and Huff. We want to thank you again for your time today, and let's keep being real. What another epic episode. And if you enjoyed the episode today, can you please do me a favor and subscribe to our podcast, The Be Real Show, on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform. And also take a little time today, if you don't mind, and give your boy T Huff a review. I would really super appreciate it. And thank you so much for listening today. Right now, more than ever, folks, we need to work on our reputation for our businesses. And get those reviews, get those positive reviews, get those positive recommendations on both on your social, but also to market on your website. And that is why you want to check out my business, folks, our software, realtimereputation.us. That's realtimereputation.us. Please check it out. It is literally the best thing that's ever happened to many of our campaigns, as that reviews bring together your social and digital campaigns. And the more positive reviews, as people are making those positive, decisions, they're looking at your reviews. And so the more you can get, the better. And make it easy and automated with realtimereputation.us. Check us out.